The situation happening in Zamfara right now has captured the attention of people across the country because it speaks to something many communities have been struggling with for years: the search for safety, peace, and a sense of control over their environment. Viewers, while you are following the gist, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss updates like this. Your support helps us grow and bring you more real-time stories that matter. In this latest development, people began talking seriously when reports started spreading about local hunters moving into action against dangerous groups that have been troubling villages. These hunters are not just ordinary individuals. In many northern communities, they are respected for their tracking skills, their courage, and their deep knowledge of the forests and paths criminals use to hide. Over time, they have become part of the local defense system, stepping in when official security is slow or unable to reach certain remote areas. For months now, people in Zamfara have been complaining about night attacks, stolen animals, blocked roads, and families living in fear. Everyone has been saying that something needed to change. People wanted a breakthrough, something that would give them hope again. Viewers, if you understand how important safety is in every community, please take 1 second to like this video and subscribe. It really helps. The report that brought attention this time was centered around a coordinated move by these hunters. From what people on ground describe, it was not a random or emotional action. It was planned carefully by individuals who wanted to push back against those who had been putting pressure on their villages. They studied movements, they watched patterns, and they waited for the right moment. Many of these hunters know the land better than anyone. They grew up in these forests. They understand the sound of the wind, the movement of animals, and the footsteps of people approaching from far away. So when they say they are ready, it means they have gathered enough information. The people in nearby villages said they started noticing unusual silence one evening. The hunters had moved out quietly. There was no noise, no shouting, no warning. Only the sound of their soft steps disappearing into the dark. And this is something they do intentionally. They don't want to scare anyone. They don't want to alert criminals. They move like shadows, and by the time anyone realizes what is happening, they have already covered long distances. Now, what made this operation different from others in the past is that the hunters decided to push deeper than usual. For a long time, communities had been complaining that criminals were using abandoned farmlands, thick bushes, and hidden enclaves as safe zones. These places were so deep that even security forces sometimes avoided them because the terrain was rough. But for the hunters, this was common ground. This is where they feel at home. Many locals said they woke up in the early hours of the morning to distant sounds that suggested something serious was happening. Not loud explosions or anything alarming, but steady movement, something that showed the hunters were not alone where they went. The next day, information began to spread slowly, piece by piece. People in nearby settlements heard that the hunters had confronted a dangerous group that had been troubling the area for months. Every time viewers hear these stories, it is easy to think of them as simple events. But if we look closely, we realize that these situations carry emotional weight. Families have been displaced. Farmers can't go to their farms. Traders are scared to travel. Children hear stories of danger every evening. So when news comes that local defenders have taken action, communities feel a kind of relief. Even if the battle is not over, they feel like someone is finally standing up for them. My people, as you follow this gist, please remember to tap the like button and subscribe. It helps us keep the conversation going. Now, many eyewitnesses described that the hunters reached a point deep inside the forest where they met armed individuals who had been using that location to coordinate their activities. What followed was a confrontation that lasted longer than anyone expected. The hunters, understanding the land and knowing how to move, used every bit of experience they had gained over the years. And when the dust settled, the reports said the criminals were pushed out of that territory completely. For the villagers who had been affected for a long time, this news brought a strong emotional reaction. Some said they felt a weight lifted off their shoulders. Others said they finally slept peacefully for the first time in months. When communities hear that people with courage and skill are helping to defend them, it builds hope. It gives them a reason to believe things can change. But viewers, as we talk about this event, we must also understand that these situations are not just about fights or confrontations. They are about communities trying to survive. They are about people trying to protect their families. They are about the daily reality of those who live in places where basic safety is not guaranteed. And most importantly, they remind us that unity and courage can make a difference when everyone feels helpless. Please, if you are still watching, support this video by liking and subscribing. It keeps you informed and keeps us motivated. And something else happened after this incident. People started sharing related conversations. Some talked about how communities should be supported more. Some talked about how government presence should be stronger. Others talked about the mental stress families experience when danger is always close. These conversations matter because they help us understand that the issue is deeper than one raid or one confrontation. It is a complex challenge that needs long-term solutions. Many people also began discussing how local hunters and community security groups should be properly supported so they do not take unnecessary risks. They talked about training, equipment, and better communication with official security agencies. When people risk their lives to protect others, they deserve support and recognition. It is something worth thinking about. And viewers, if you agree, please like this video and subscribe for more updates. The gist continued to spread, and as it did, more people from different parts of the country started asking questions. They wanted to know how the situation escalated in the first place, how communities got to this point, and what can be done to prevent future problems. These are important questions, and they show that Nigerians everywhere are paying attention. When issues like this affect one part of the country, they affect everyone indirectly. Safety, peace, and stability are things we all want, no matter where we live. I will pause here for a moment because there is still a lot to explain: the aftermath, the reactions, the deeper issues, and the other angles you will want to hear.